Can a blackjack game table be translated into Minecraft Redstone? Let's find out. Hello everybody, this is Giorgio, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to the Redstone Sketchbook episode 1. And I know what you're thinking, guys. Giorgio, you made this series so that we didn't have to wait weeks between uploads, and then I go and make you wait weeks between the episode 0 and episode 1. I'm so sorry, guys. It's just I couldn't make up my mind on what to do the first episode about, and I changed my mind like several times, but I think I finally have a good idea on what to make. And actually, I have planned out the whole episode already, or at least what I'm gonna say. And well, since I'm not sure yet on the proper format for this series, this time what we're gonna do is I've already built all of the redstone here, and I'm gonna explain and walk you through it. And yeah, maybe in the next ones we're actually gonna figure out some redstone on camera, which is not a good idea like ever, but we're gonna try it. For this one though, the redstone is all done, and well, you might say like making a blackjack game in Minecraft like fully automatic might be crazy, but I actually did it. Unfortunately, is for a fiber client that I had, and actually it was the perfect thing because it gave me the idea for this episode. And so yeah, it works. However, it had to be done in about a week, so a lot of things could be improved and a lot of things can be made better, and I did learn a lot, so that's what I want to share with you guys today. And by the way, guys, what I'm gonna show you here today is not specifically only applicable to Blackjack. It can basically be used on many other card games that you can translate from the real world to Minecraft, of course, and probably with some other mini games of other types and other contraptions in general. So what I've decided to do is divide the video into 3 sections. Basically, the 3 main things that you need for a card game, which are a deck of cards. You need a deck of cards to play, the yellow bit. Then the light blue bit is for the player hands. You need hands to play whatever game you decide on. And then the next one is for displays, because now that you have your hand, you need to showcase or show it to the player in some way that they understand. And so we need the displays. And by the way, I did also make a little bonus for you guys, which is this contraption back here. I cannot release the full blackjack game, of course, because it was a custom order. But probably in the future, I will try to use what I've learned and all of these things that I'm gonna show you here to make a better version. Obviously smaller, because that one was massive, and with all of the improvements I can make. But for now, to showcase what I'm gonna show you here, like all together in a proper mini game, I made this little game. So if you wait until the end of the video, I'm gonna show you that. So without further ado, guys, let's get into the redstone, and we're gonna start with the deck of cards.
Go. What's it gonna be?
So there are many ways to represent a deck of cards in Minecraft. The most common ones that I've seen lately are maps, which are super cool. You can do a lot of things, customize them however you want, and they look amazing, of course. And well, I guess the chipman's version of that is just renaming paper or whatever item. Both of them work and they're pretty cool, especially the map one. However, this means that you do need containers, so you need to dump all of your cards in containers, and to shuffle them you need like the classic drop recycle, pulsing it very fast and shuffling all the cards inside of them. And you of course need filters to automatically know which card you're talking about or you're using. And well, the other downside is that if you want to actually visualize the card, you need to have it in your inventory or on an item frame, both of them pretty manual, right? So they're cool, and if you want to use them, go ahead. However, the one that I'm gonna use, or I used, is signal strength. In fact, let me load on a resource pack so you can see it a bit better. Much better. Now you can see the signal strength that this comparator is outputting. And well, the benefit of using signal strength is that in a single redstone dust you can encode up to 16 values. 15 if you don't count the 0. And well, the cool thing is that you can basically break shulker boxes with pistons and replace them with dispensers, and you can that way store signal strengths However, that is not the only option. We also have music discs, which are less accessible to players normally or generally. So yeah, if you want to use shulker boxes, go ahead. That's a bit easier. But if you want to use music discs, that's super cool too. And if you're gonna store the 13 bodies of cards that there are, the only one that you might have a little bit of trouble is with the 13, because these are the two discs that give the signal strength of 13. The other 12 can be farmed with creepers, I believe, so that shouldn't be too hard. And well, I must say for the blackjack, I only need the 13 bodies of the cards. I don't need to actually store the suits, but if your game actually needs them, then you can have a separate redstone line or a separate storage or shuffler that will encode 4 values into 4 signal strength with the representation of the 4 suits. So now that we have a way to represent the cards, we need a way to shuffle them, and I have good news for you guys. You don't have to do anything because I've done it for you. That's right, my gift to you is the world download will be down in the description, so you can come in and just copy the systems and paste them in your worlds. Of course, it's gonna be in my Discord server because that way I have practically infinite storage for world downloads rather than on Mediafire where I only had 10 gigs. I know it's a little bit more inconvenient for some of you guys who don't want to get into my Discord server or whatever, but there they are. I mean, you can just download them and leave if you want. However, it's a cool place, so I invite you to stay. Anyways, I've done both randomizers, the one for music discs and the one for shulker boxes. They work in the very exact same way. We have droppers randomizing the cards. Of course, the droppers only have 9 slots, and we have 13 values of cards, so we cannot fit all of them into one dropper. So we're using 2. And the only thing that we're doing is, of course, using the standard randomizer with non-stackables and stackable items, so that we get a 50-50 chance of choosing one of the 2 droppers. Now, of course, we have 6 and 7 cards in their respective droppers, so they don't have the exact same chance, or not all the cards have the exact same chance of being drawn. So to normalize this a little bit, we are using this setup right here, 5 stackables, which give a little bit of a higher chance of the 7 card dropper to be selected against the 4 non-stackables of the 6 card dropper. Pretty simple, pretty easy stuff. I will leave the math right now on screen. Probably you are not too interested on that though, but there you see it. It basically gets a random signal strength back here. It's super fast, but there you saw it. I think that was 6. And yeah, here you can see it a bit more dissected, and actually you can use this system if you have up to 9 cards. So it's exactly the same system, and it works like this. We input a disc from this dropper into the joke box. The minecart immediately sucks it back and puts it back into this dropper. The other 2 are completely empty. Super simple stuff. And of course, here we have the shulker box version, which is exactly the same. The only thing that is changing is that we're locking this hopper so that we can get the precision locking mechanic to get 100% of the times the shulker box that is being broken, and so that it doesn't jump out to wherever. So yeah, 6 and 7 cards, same deal. And these are the systems for the shulker box. This is a 1 wide one, and this is the same one, but it retains the shulker box in this hopper before putting it into the dropper. So as you can see right there, this is just in case you need it, or you need the card not to be repeated after one draw. And then here we have the actual one that I used. This one does use a redstone piece, so here's the dustless version using rails. And as you can see, they're super fast. And of course, this is up to 9 shulker boxes that you can fit. You can use it for the 4 suits though. Alright, so we've seen a way to get the cards, or to represent the cards, and then we've seen a way to shuffle those in a deck. And after shuffling them, of course, we deal them to the players, and we need to store those cards that each player gets into a specific hand. And there's several ways of doing them. We're just gonna cover a few of them, like very few of them. But basically, we're gonna talk a little bit about data storage. And no, guys, I'm not gonna be talking about solid state drives or hard drives or RAM or anything like that. It's just a mini game. However, you can store values into binary numbers, which is a super cool way of storing them for mini games. I left here 3 options: that one, and this one, which is just copper bulbs to store binary numbers here if you want to explore them in the world download. Because for the cards we only need 4 bits for each, or for the 13 bodies that we have, which is this is the number 13, 1101 in binary numbers. You can just Google what they are if you don't know what they are. I'm not gonna get too much into that because that's not the option that I chose, but it is a very useful option for minigames. Another cool option for minigames is time-based. We can, for example, introduce 3 items into this barrel from the dropper, and then if we count how long it takes for the hopper to take those items out of the barrel, then we can decode it to a 3 or a 4 if there were 4 items, or etc., right? That's also a super fun way of doing it, however a little bit bulky. So I didn't go with that one either, but just to present it to you guys. Hello everybody, this is Editing Giorgio, and well, I wasn't gonna develop this option, the time-based one, for the episode, but it's such an interesting and fun option that I had to at least give it a try. And so here it is. It uses a very old technique to decode time-based signals. And what you do is you input one more item than the value that you want. For example, if you want a 3, you input 4 items, and it basically decodes it to a 3. For the first few items, it is fine, but the higher you go, the longer it takes for it to decode it, because each item adds a 4-tick delay. As you can see, we did a 10 there, and it takes forever. But yeah, here it is. It was just a fun concept. If you want to check it out, I will leave it also in the world download for you to play with it, or maybe modify it, maybe make it smaller or faster. If you do so, tag me wherever you post it. It would be so interesting to see your guys' design. And well, that's it. Let's go back to the video. The one that I did go with is signal strength. We can store it directly. You probably have seen this before. This is a memory cell for signal strength. You can copy it right here. And the way to reset it is just by removing one of the blocks temporarily, or by subtracting 15 from one of the comparators. Here is the dustless version, which I don't really like for this application specifically because it's a bit chunkier and a bit slower. So I decided to go with this one and its vertical version, which is this. It's exactly the same. And to store more than one card in the player's hand, we just need to stack more of those together. For example, here's an array of 5, a horizontal one using the vertical cells and a vertical one using the horizontal cells. Fun how 3D space works. And we just need to shift the register so that the first card goes to the first memory cell, the second one to the second memory cell, and so on and so forth. And you gotta remember, I did this blackjack in a week, so this is the first thing I came up with, which I really like anyways. But it does the exact same thing, so it stores them in order. And it has even a function to skip one, so it goes to the 4th, skipping the 3rd. And you can reset it at any point and it returns to the first one. I also did its vertical version for my display. It starts from bottom to top, as you can see, and you can reset it from the other side right here, right like so. And then I thought you could just do it with a locking repeater cycle with the shift register, like that. So if you guys want to develop that as well, I would love to see it. Just tag me if you do. It's just a matter of connecting this to the memory cells. Super simple. So that's about memory cells. I know I went a little bit fast with this one, but there's not much to it if you want to explore them in the world download in more detail. And if you have any doubts about any of these contraptions that I'm showing you in the video, just let me know and I will make a video alone for that specific contraption or mechanic, or even for, I don't know, a larger minigame. A larger minigame using that specific mechanic or contraption, I mean. Sorry, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm super tired today. It's been a very busy week, like many others recently these days for me. But we're here and we're having fun. And actually, before we get into displays, which is a very interesting topic, I have a little puzzle for you guys. So, for the blackjack game, I had to add up the values of the cards because the objective is of course to get as close as 21 as possible without going over. So we need to detect when we go over by adding up to 22. The problem is signal strength goes up to 15 only. So how do we do it so that we can add up signal strength and go over 21? That's my little puzzle for you guys. I have several solutions that I tried before actually landing on the one that I decided. So there's several solutions to this puzzle. I'm just curious on what you guys come up with. And yeah, let me know down in the comments, send them through Discord or whatever you like. And I will feature some of your best solutions in the next episode, and I actually will give you the solution that I used as well. A little hint, this is a standard comparator adder, so you can add signal strengths, for example, +1, that yields 1, plus 2 more, that yields 3, so 1 plus 2, 3, of course. And that's all good and well, except until you start adding signal strength that go over 15, and then, yeah, the adder breaks because the signal strength doesn't go over 15. A very fun way of doing it is overloading comparators. So for example, you stack up unstackables. So these are actually stacks of 64 shulker boxes in each slot. You cannot see it because, well, it's impossible in vanilla Minecraft without commands. But if we do data get block and the coordinates of the comparator, we can see that the output signal that it's giving is 897. If we take it with redstone, it just says 15, but actually, if we subtract 15 from that comparator, you can see it's still on because it's over 15. That used to be possible with Curse of Binding and Banishing books before, but that got removed. I don't know if it's still possible in vanilla Minecraft. Let me know down in the comments. So that's a pretty cool way. And this, for example, is the same thing. It has the barrel full up or filled up. However, it does have... Oh, that's the same one. This one. It does have the signal strength of 15 because they're normal stacks. That's just to prove my point. You can explore this in the world download as well. So let me know your guys' solutions, and I'm really curious about it. And we finally come to the displays part. Now I'm gonna make this very quick because there's not much to talk about, just four options, and one of them we covered is the manual one. I did discards only for this specific scene. I missed one here. I don't know where I left the map. It's gotta be one of these. But this is a poker hand, and yeah, it's very manual because you can still pop off the item frames automatically, but then you need someone to actually replace them and then place the map again. Same for renamed items or have them in their inventories. So it's a bit manual. If you don't mind that, that's the coolest option in my opinion. The next one is a 7-segment display. Don't use this one. This is my design specifically for Steve vs. Zombies, and it only works in order, so you have to increase or decrease the signal strength in order. If you decrease it like immediately or something, it breaks. It was perfect for Steve vs. Zombies and very compact, but otherwise I don't recommend you to use it. And for the queen and the king, it might not be possible. For the queen, might be if you do a 0 and you add an extra pixel right here, and it kind of looks like a queen, not really, but you know, have imagination. For the king, it's impossible. Well, not impossible, but you have to like modify it because normally a 7-segment display works on segments. And for the king, for example, you need this lamp to be turned off. So you have to, instead of have this as a single segment, you have to have it as separate 2 segments. So that's one, and this is the other one. Same for these 3 right here. For the king, you need this one off. And also the same for this 2 down here. So yeah, use it if you want to modify it and if you know how to do it. Otherwise, there's a very simple way of doing it, which is this one. Just make lines of lamps, use the vertical display right here over the vertical array of cells, and just label them ace through king. Very simple display. And then there's this one, which is my favorite. I just did it for this very episode, and it's a custom display for specifically for poker cards. You can go all the way to the 10. There you go. You can even spam it, as you saw, and it doesn't break. That's the jack. That's the king, super cool. And that's the queen. So yeah, use it if you want. And that's the one that I used for the minigame that I'm gonna present to you guys here today. It's a high or low game. You know how it works, right? You get a card and you guess if the next one is gonna be higher or lower. This game is not suited to earn diamonds because it's super easy to play the odds. But I did make it with diamonds just to give you an example on how to do it. And it takes 1 diamond every time to play. For example, right now we get an ace, which is the highest, so it's either lower or higher. I'm gonna go higher just to try and lose. Let's see. We got a queen, so we lost. It doesn't give us anything, and you see I even put messages in those signs, and it even has like audio cues and all. So yeah, just look at it, study it if you want. It uses the displays, of course, pretty obvious. It uses player hands memory cells right here with the pink concrete, and also we use the deck shuffling and storage in the purple bit right here. Same exact system that I've already shown you. I even color coded everything and labeled it for you guys, so you're welcome. And so yeah, that's about it for the minigame. I'll let you discover what the messages are. And also, if you win, it gives you 2 diamonds back. If you lose, it doesn't give you anything, and if you tie, it gives you 1 back. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys. Hopefully you like it. Let me know down in the comments what you would like to see for the next Redstone Sketchbook. Let me know what your solution would be to the little puzzle and what you thought about this episode. It's the first one that I do for the series. I will try to make the next ones a bit sooner than this one. But that's it for today. Leave your like if you like the episode, if you find it useful, and subscribe if you haven't done so. We are now up on 700 subscribers, over 700 subscribers, which is amazing. Thanks so much for that, guys. And well, I guess I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.